Nice
Hi,
to meet you, Beth.
Steve.
Big
Good to
fan.
see you.
Did you bring your son with you?
No,
Or?
this is Byron. Byron Lane, Herpes boy,
From the movie?
the star of the movie.
Come on, that doesn't look anything like him.
We saw the movie. He doesn't look anything.
No, I'm the guy from the.
No, remember?
I watched it less than 24 hours ago.
Oh, I know what it is. It's
Herpes
because of
boy.
the birthmark. He has a birthmark in the movie.
In the movie,
Just
I have a
picture him with a
birthmark,
birthmark.
Like that.
Now see?
Whoa.
Byron
That
Lane.
is method acting.
There was.
And a tube of
Oh,
Dusty Rose lipstick.
Yeah? Yeah?
He's some kind of witch.
Herpes Boy has been winning awards. It just won something at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, best comedy.
Best comedy.
oh, all right.
That's
We're really
awesome.
excited about that.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a discerning group at Comic-Con.
No, they don't mess
Yeah.
around.
They
No,
do not.
no.
Those guys.
No, they're brainiacs. They're,
You're right.
They're smart.
It's rare to get praise out of the Comic-Con crowd.
It's mostly just
Right.
geekingly angry.
Yeah, you usually just get less criticism, but praise is pretty rad.
A guy dressed as Spider-Man gave us our award, so.
Oh, really?
Nice.
You know you've arrived.
Regular Spider-Man or symbiote Spider-Man?
Traditional.
Fair enough. All right.
Nice. Was it Tobey Maguire
No.
or the
It
new
could have
guy?
been.
It could have been.
How do you know?
You should say it
True.
Could
was.
have been.
That's right.
Now, how did you get Herpes Boy made? Can we hear this story from the ground up? Because
Byron Lane, sheer will.
Because Byron wrote it,
power.
everybody, and starred in it.
Well, I started this web series. Well, I auditioned for Lonely Girl 15. Remember that big thing?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I got a few callbacks, and those people were super awesome, but I didn't get that part. Had a great time doing it, so I thought maybe I'll start my own, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a worker at Starbucks who had a birthmark around her eye, and I thought, wow, that'd be such a great character. So I started this little web series. So John Baumgartner saw this web series, said, hey, it could be a movie, you should write it. So I wrote it. He's friends with Beth. He sent her the script. I was so lucky that she liked it.
Very cool.
And asked her
Well,
friends
I
to be
actually
involved.
said yes before I even read the script because John called me and said, I want you to be in a movie called Herpes Boy. I said, yes.
Nice. Automatic
That's
yes.
true. But then I did read it.
And it was some good timing, too, because we needed a director, and I had done a short film for some students at Chapman University, and Nathaniel Atchison had just graduated, and he's signed on to direct Herpes Boy, and it was awesome, and he brought his friends, Emma Elizabeth Hughes and Benjamin Cantor, to produce and shoot it, and they're kind of like a great little team, and it was just all of a sudden we had this crew, and we were shooting. It's just kind of a dream come true. It really was an indie film miracle. It was really awesome.
Well, this is how indie it was. We had a room where we had our costumes. We fit in our costumes. It was
right.
also the makeup room.
Okay.
It was also the green room where we rested, and it was
Also
and we
the
also
bathroom.
and we also shot in there.
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
That's indie.
That's very
Exactly.
Were you worried at all about being the Herpes Boy? I mean, like having that be, you know, do you want people walking up to you on the street and being like, Herpes Boy, if you're on a date or something? Is
I
that-
always think it could be worse.
There you go.
But
Really? I don't know, not a lot.
yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, there are a couple diseases that are much worse, yeah.
I never had that concern.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, though. That's great.
now you're worried about
Yeah.
it. 1-800-405-6425. You get on the air with us. Michael, how's it going?
Hi, I have a question for Beth.
Shoot.
Hello?
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Beth. How are you doing?
Great.
I got a big question. I'm glad that you're on the show tonight. You're in the movie No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
Well, I love the movie, but I heard something interesting after seeing it. Some people say that the guy that played the killer was actually Tommy Lee Jones' alter ego. Is that true, or is that just rumor?
That's not my opinion.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I don't know if you read the book. That might give you a little more insight. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Yes.
After having seen it at least 9 times and loving it beyond measure, every frame of it, I can't believe I got so lucky to do what I consider to be a true masterpiece, directed by the Coen brothers. It's still a dream for me. But to me, it's more like a myth, an ancient myth, or even you could say an Old Testament story where, to me, Tommy Lee Jones kind of represents good and Javier represents evil, God versus the devil, fighting over the soul of every man, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And the question that was asked to me at the premiere by Tony Bill's wife, Helen Bartlett, came up to me and said, do you think Tommy Lee Jones' character finds God? And I said, oh, my God, I don't know. I couldn't wait for it to open. I think my husband and I, whose name Michael, too, by the way, we were the first ones in the theater on Friday at ArcLight to go
wow.
see the movie because I had to see it again because I had to answer that question. And it was a good question because I think he does. I think that dream that he has about his father and his father going ahead with the far,
Yeah.
I think that it's his definition of the afterlife. You know, he's a man that doesn't really have religion, it seems, in the movie, but he finds something. And you know, it's semantics, but I would say that he finds an answer to what his life is about, and that's why the movie ends when it ends.
Let's go to Trevor here. You're on the air.
Hey, I have a question for Beth. I just want to know if she had any like cool stories and what it was like working on Jericho.
Oh, Jericho.
Jericho.
Gosh, I was just talking about Jericho earlier too. I'm doing a kind of an Armageddon movie next week. And I was talking to the director on the way here, and I was saying that it reminded me of my Gracie Lee on Jericho. Oh, boy. Well, the saddest part was getting killed. I mean, I knew I was going to die because there's another one I died. That was a stabbing.
Oh, okay.
So, see, I have many different ways of dying. When I did the pilot, I knew she was going to die because there was a line where the young boy who I was, taking care of, said to me, "I won't ever let anything happen to you." And I said, "I'm dead meat." You don't write a line like that.
Yeah.
And so then they made my deal for 7 episodes, and so I was just hoping that something would happen and I would get there. And I think I made 9. I think I did 9.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got the call, it was like one of my best friends died.
Wow.
So, but they promised me, Carol Barbie called and she said, "We're going to give you a great send-off. I promise it's going to be a great death scene." And I did think it was really good.
Marcus in Santa Clarita writes, this is for Byron, was there any mention in the movie of Herpes Boy growing a mustache to solve his problems? Or was he too young? No, I just watched the movie. I don't remember it.
Well, it might have been. I haven't shaved in weeks.
Really?
So,
Right now?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
I don't grow like a lot of facial hair, so that would have been an issue. But but the actual character, no. I think the only thing was that was mentioned as a possible solution was his cousin Christy, played by the amazing Anna O'Reilly.
Yes.
Who's going to be in The Help, and she was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. She's great.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to cover it up with some makeup and ended up making him look like kind of a clown. And he's horrified, and her
Right.
reaction to that is, "But people love clowns."
Isn't like everybody afraid of clowns these days?
She means well.
Sure. Good old cousin Christy.
Right.
And she and Byron are both nominated for Best Actor and Best Actress at
excellent.
the Feel Good Film Festival.
I see that you've worked with multiple directors at different points in your career. How is it working with like 2 directors, like the Coen brothers, as opposed to working with 1 director?
That's a great question, and it's very unusual.
That is a great
And I've done
question.
it twice because I did the Coen brothers and then I didn't do the Coen
Right,
brothers.
right.
Whoa.
Frisky group.
AM. But Jonathan, the directors of, I'm sorry, I got beyond myself there
Little
with
Miss
thinking about the Coen brothers. Yeah. Oh, and we were talking about Jonathan Slavin earlier too. Do y'all know Jonathan Slavin, that character actor?
Jonathan Slavin, I'm not sure. Steve, do you know?
It's not ringing a bell at the moment.
Well, anyway, Byron's like him. Anyway,
Okay.
but Valerie and Jonathan, who directed Little Miss Sunshine, also they're married and they have kids, and they've worked together for 15 years, 20 years.
Wow.
And the thing that was amazing to me is, and it was also true with the Coen brothers, they never got defensive with each other.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, my husband I can barely get through dinner without being offensive. If you say the slightest thing, pass the salt. What did you mean by that? But they just didn't, and it was a real inspiration to me. In fact, I think that my marriage has improved because of it, because I thought all the time that I waste being defensive when I should realize we're on the same team. We're going for the higher good. So if they say something that you don't agree, you talk about it, but without the defensive posture. It's just brilliant, because then you've got 2 brains working. So actually, I loved it in both cases. And they both did give me notes, and they weren't all exactly the same, but somehow you just take it in your brain and you turn it around, and it makes perfect sense, and you go to an even better place, I think. So I find it very exciting, but I think it takes 2 very special people to be able to direct together.
Do both of them do all of everything? They don't separate it at all? Because I think the Farley brothers kind of separate their jobs a little bit or something.
No, I don't think so. I think they do everything together.
Okay.